lads, so this is a new series that we're going to start on the channel, basically breaking down every new arena season. If you don't know, a new arena season happens every 2 weeks, and every new season comes with its own separate types of rules, different maps, and I think it's kind of important, especially for those that want to get those extra bits of rewards for these particular arena seasons. In this case, we are currently on season 21 of the year 2022, and actually having a look at this particular setting, what we have here is the Hueco Mundo stage, and there's also a unique set of rules where Soripers, Arankas, and also humans get a 2 times damage output. In addition to that, we also have Aranka enemies appearing in this stage, and in my opinion, given the rules that we do have, this is one of the more enjoyable arena seasons since it's a wide range of characters that you can use. You're going to see a lot of Soripers, Aranka, and also humans. Usually, Kale will give us the boring seasons where it's only strong attack damage times 2, and at that point, we can basically see any SP character. But in this case, because it is damage times 2 based on affiliation, normal attack damage characters can actually be used here, and they're actually going to be quite scary to go against since you are getting that 2 times damage output on your normal attack damage string. And keep in mind, this arena season is going to be lasting until the 15th of November. The rewards this time around include 500 mind links or potions for playing 25 games of a speed character, 125 no affiliation scrolls if you play 15 games of a Soripa, and also 125 Espada affiliation scrolls if you do play with a human character. Alongside that, and these are one of the more important ones if you want to try and get the 175 orbs monthly from the arena game modes, you want to make sure you win 10 games with a technique character, as that's going to give you 300 arena medals, and if you win 10 games with a power character, you're also going to get 300 more medals. And likewise with the 2 other attributes, if you win 10 games with a mind character, you're also going to get 300 more medals. Alongside that, you can get yourself an additional 300 medals for playing 20 games with an Aranka character, and also play 20 games with a heart character. And if you are able to do all of those challenges within this 2-week period, you are going to get yourself 1,500 arena medals. And then as always, if you are able to play 50 games in this 2-week period, you are going to get yourself 25 additional orbs. Now for those wondering what characters you should be using this season, since it is Soripa, Aranka, and also human damage times 2, you basically want to bring those characters to get that 2 times damage output. And of course, amongst those affiliations, some of the better characters to bring here is of course going to be the 1000 Year Blood War 2022 version of Ichigo. He is pretty much like the best arena character in the game right now. Absolute dominant force offensively. Defensively, you can deal against him quite easily, but he's still a massive powerhouse when it comes to arena. Rogue is going to be a pretty good character here. She's also quite a good character offensively. Again, defensively, not so much. Same goes for Uryu, the 7th anniversary version. Great offensive character, super fun to play with too, especially in this particular game mode since you can take advantage of that gauge mechanic. Aizen's going to be a good character here since he is getting that 2 times damage output. He's a NAD character you can build to be quite tanky here, and he also does have a boost, and since he was given all affiliation dodges, no one is ever going to dodge this particular character. Kagarosa, another very good NAD character that can do a lot of damage and also be quite tanky. Soifon, as I already mentioned, a non-attack damage character with Last Ditch, can be quite slow to kill, especially if you give her full DR, and at the same time she also has barriers, and most characters in this season don't go through barriers, so this is going to be a good way to slow down the opponent's team, especially for those that are bringing 1000 Year Blood War Ichigo. And then you can also bring someone like Yami, who has 200% Last Ditch. As of right now, majority of the characters that have been released don't have Last Ditch, so they're actually very easy to kill, but they themselves can be quite offensive and can kill fast too. So a character like Yami with 200% Last Ditch, it's going to slow down the enemy's team quite a bit. Other than that though, I can't mention every single character, but those are some of the ones that I'm going to be using this particular season. Other than that, of course, there's some other good characters to bring, but that really comes down to if you want to bring them. And there's some of the standouts in my opinion. But of course, since the season wants you to bring Soribas, humans, or Arankas, you can basically bring any character that fits that affiliation. Now for the next part of the video, what we're going to do here is break down each of the maps. There are currently 3 maps in this particular season, and here we have a detailed infographic letting us know where the mob spawns are, the NPCs, and also the boosts, so you best understand where to play and how you can organize yourself with your teammates. Now, I'm not entirely sure who created these particular map icons, so massive shout out to whoever did that. If you let me know in the comments below on Discord, I'll make sure to credit you next time. But what we have here is actually the first map. Now, what we can see here is the big focus on the NPCs, right? And lucky for us, in this 4-area map, there are 3 areas where an NPC has a chance to spawn. In this case, they can spawn in the top left, the top right, and also the bottom right. And since there are 3 players in each team, what you want to do, especially for those that aren't using characters with long stride, you don't want to spend majority of your time flash stepping around the map. You want to make sure you hold down an area, and that's the best thing to do. The best way to win game modes in this is to have trust in your teammates. So the idea here is that you want to have a teammate up here holding down the particular left area. You want to have a teammate in the top right holding down this area, and then maybe have your weakest teammate, as there are only 1 enemy spawns here, to hold down this particular area. And every 30 or so seconds when a boost does spawn in, you can easily grab that. This particular box is accessible by these two players. This particular box will be accessible by these two players. And then this player can grab this particular box. And if for some reason you need to kill a bunch of NPCs, you're going to have this whole area here to get those enemies. Looking at map 2, this one's quite a big map. And again, characters with long stride are going to be ideal here. But like I mentioned, if you position yourself smartly with your teammates, you won't need long stride. In this case, what we can see here, despite it being quite a big map, the enemies all spawn in 3 separate locations, which is great for us because we're only a team of 3. So in this case, what you want to do is have a player in the top left covering this entire area, and then also another player in the top right covering this entire area. And then for the person with the best character in the team, maybe someone that is host, they can hold down this area and cover this entire bottom part. It will be better here if they do have long stride. And in that case, the bottom player will have access to the box here and here. The top left player will have access to the box here, and then the right player will have access to the box over here. And then lastly, for the third map, this is kind of the weird one, but do keep in mind where the boost does spawn here. They spawn in the middle, so you want to make sure you are constantly grabbing those boxes when they are available every 30 seconds. But the best way to manage yourself here is to have your best player in the top right holding this area, which will be able to tackle those mobs, and will also be able to go against this particular NPC and this NPC if they do spawn in these set locations. You can have a second player here holding down this NPC and also this NPC alongside these enemies, and then you can also have another player standing here holding down those enemies, this NPC and also this NPC. That way you have all the NPCs covered and you can basically just farm them up. And if you do need to kill some NPCs, maybe for a challenge for example, well then all you have to do is flash step upwards to here, get those enemies, or flash step downwards to here and get these enemies. And with that, that's basically the map breakdown. With that said, to end off the video, we're going to play one game and see how it does go. We just got put into an arena season. Let's actually check who we're up against this time around. Keep in mind, if you do want to have access to those 175 orbs per month, you do want to try and at least place top 3 in every particular season. In this case, my season doesn't look that competitive. Number 1 right now only has like 7 wins. So I'm definitely going to try and take that first place rank. And that would net me 1,500 medals from this particular season alone. If I'm able to come first place in both seasons, that's 3,000 medals. And then alongside the 3,000 medals you can get per month by doing the challenges, that should be able to get you those 175 orbs. In this case, we can grab the 25s right now. So the character that I chose to use for this particular video is actually Moe. I just recently pulled him. He's a human. He gets the 2x damage buff. Unfortunately though, I have to get him to arena level 10 to get that long stride. So right now at arena level 5, we'll take the flurry +2 and also the start power item +2 as well, which will pretty much allow us to do a lot of damage, just not really be as fast as other characters that do have long stride. Alright, so we are up against a new Kisuke, interesting, a 1000-year Blood War Ichigo and also Yamamoto. In this case, we aren't really designed to go against anyone, so what I'm going to try and do here is hold up this top right area. Now, lucky for us, we are going to be doing a lot of damage, especially with the start item +2. And keep in mind, Moe is basically designed to counter Bruno, but we're not really going to find any Brunos this season. The mission goes off. I'm going to use my Soul Bomb here. Gotta be kind of careful against that Yamamoto. He actually does do a lot of damage, especially to me since I'm a speed character. Gonna grab these boxes here. You gotta play it real safe when it comes to NAD characters in this, because they can do a lot of damage. Get my Soul Bomb here, kill those mobs. Since I'm on +5 now, we're pretty much one-shot in most things. They stole from us, but it's fine, since we can just steal right back. But we don't need to, because we won anyway. Moe is not too bad. Moe is a pretty good character this season, despite there not being that many Brunos running around. So with that said, lads, that was the video for today, breaking down Arena Season 1 for 2022. Again, seems like a pretty chill Arena Season. You're going to have a bunch of Soripers, Arankas, and humans running around, so just make sure whatever character you are using does meet those specific affiliations, because you do want to get that 2x damage output. If, for example, you were to bring someone like Bruno, you'd be doing 2x less damage, and that's not really ideal here. But with that said, hope you lads enjoyed the video. I'll see you lads next time. Take care, and peace.